We're taking a little quick trip down to Wyoming for this episode because we're going to work on my dad's pickup, his grandpa. He has an OBS Ford with a 460, and we're going to do some upgrades on it. So just bringing you an intro while we sit here eating our Jimmy John's, waiting to go into the car wash. This is also the first time we've taken the Flex out of town since we got it back together, huh? So hopefully that goes well. Pickups, the spout connector is right over here by the cruise control. It's this little guy down here. So let's plug it in and make sure that it advances. Sounds like it because the idle went up. Alright, so we're buzzing this down the highway to get it warmed up because you don't want to beat on stuff when the oil's cold. That's how you wreck stuff. Also, here's a pro tip. You don't want to beat on these when they're in overdrive. Bad idea. So we're going to shut that off, but we're going to get it warmed up and we're going to do some 0 to 60 runs. Now first, you saw me verify that the timing was set where it should be, 10 degrees with the spout connector out, because this thing just doesn't seem like it has the power that it should. It does have big old mud tires on it, but we're out. We're gonna do before and after 0 to 60 to see if all that 460 guys, or is it EFI guys? Yeah, the EFI guys 460 stuff is all that it's cracked up to be. So, but look at this thing. Look around the interior a little bit. This thing is mint. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of want it. Bryce said he doesn't, but he don't know. He don't know what's good. So Bryce is filming. I got the stopwatch. And it's gonna be a rolling 0 to 60. How about we do it from like a 5 mile per hour roll? Got the, actually we don't got anybody coming. Got the overdrive turned off. So here we go. 3, 2, 1, go. Boy, she shifts firm. It's about 11 seconds. Okay, we'll do it 3 times so we can get an average. So 10.52. That's actually pretty respectable for this big truck with big old mud tires on it. 3, 2, 1, go. Probably 11 second. 3, 2, 1, go. Well, that shift kit is on point. Yep. So I think we're gonna call it 11 seconds. That's, I mean, I don't need to add up the numbers and average them, but 11 seconds is going to be our beforehand 0 to 60. So now let's get her in there and tear it apart and see what she do afterwards. We're going to show you all the parts first. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is disconnect the battery because we want all the adaptive learning that the computer has done to reset. So let's walk around real quick. This is Dad's 96 OBS F250 Super Cab 4x4. It has a 460 and an E4OD transmission. So what we're trying to do today is pep it up. So what he has, I found this online. This is from the 460 EFI guys in Casper, Wyoming. And this is their, I guess they call it their throttle body kit for the EFI 460s. So let's see what we get here. I think this is going to be the air cleaner base. Okay. So yep, drop air cleaner base. And then this, I believe, is going to be the throttle body. So basically what this is a kit to put a throttle body on this 460 to replace the whole snakehead intake system that's on there. And this is supposed to give you more power and better gas mileage. So we're gonna see. I think I heard about this place from Ford Truck Enthusiasts, which is a forum that I'm on because, as you know, we do Ford truck things on this channel. We've kind of been doing car things lately, haven't we, bud?
Yeah.
But I mean, seriously though, we are a Ford truck channel.
Yeah.
It's what we do, man.
Why is it inside out?
I don't know, because that's how they package it. Okay, so I think this is a Holley throttle body that they give you. See if we can find any markings on it. I don't see any, but you know what it really looks like to me is a Dodge Dakota throttle body. Those ones where they had that air horn thing, like 2000s to 90s. And it's got a new throttle position sensor on it, and a Ford idle air control motor. So yeah, it looks like they take a Dodge throttle body, I'm guessing, and they adapt all the stuff to it. This is the adapter to mount to the manifold. This looks pretty cool. So what you do is you're taking the intake off, the whole intake box, and all this, they kind of call it the snake head because the way it kind of winds around like that with the throttle body. All that stuff comes off and this goes on in its place, and there's more horsepower and rejoicing to be had. So this will go on just like this. And all this other stuff must be throttle cable stuff and stuff to keep the EFI. So, all right. I don't need any instructions to take this apart. I've worked on these kind of engines 4 times that I can count, so let's get into that first. Okay, so after consulting the instructions, they actually want you to take the EGR valve off of the plenum, which is what we're calling the snake head. So let's try it that way and see what we get. Okay. It's kind of cool that all this stuff comes from some guys in Casper, huh? Fellow Wyomingites. Wyomingans? We're technically Montanans though, now aren't we? Well, you always. But I don't know how that works. Am I still a Wyoming? Am I still a Wyoming person or am I a Montana person? Because I was born in Wyoming, but now I think I've lived in Montana for longer than I did in Wyoming. But anyway, I'm very familiar with these old body style trucks. I've had like 7 of them. Bryce only was here for 2 of them, huh, Bryce? You remember which 2? One of them was white and was awesome. The Lightning.
Well, yeah,
So you were here for the Lightning and the black and blue Bronco, the Bruise. You were little. You were like smaller.
Yeah, I
than
remember
Robbie.
it.
But yeah, remember that was a wrecked one that I fixed. So you were there for those 2. But in addition to those, I also had a 96 Eddie Bauer Bronco. I had a red 92 4-wheel drive straight 6 pickup. And then Mom's red and white 92, which was a 5-liter E40D 2-wheel drive regular cab long bed. So I don't know how many that is, but that's a lot. I mean, what I'm saying is I've worked on a lot of these. These are also that when I was a mechanic, these trucks were like 10 years old or so. So I worked on these a lot because they were right about that age. Got a vacuum line. All right. Okay, getting her bolted down. Now modifying the cruise cable. The little aluminum biscuits that they give you, they're saying to crimp the end on there with like some wire crimpers. No, just no. You cannot crimp that little aluminum puck with wire crimpers. So we went with bolt cutters ended up working, but very gingerly, and it seems good. So this little bracket that goes on the passenger side injector rail and basically holds these wires, I had to delete on that because this bracket was hitting it. I also had to give that bracket a little tweak because it was against the injector rail, so it's a little mod. And you got to pay attention to what this wire is doing with the idle air motor. And what I'm going to end up doing is popping that little plug out so that this can kind of lay over the top of it, because that's where the connector has to go. So anyway, as always, installing aftermarket parts involves modifying things, even more so than the instructions say. And you cannot use a wire crimper. We even tried a vise. So yeah, no. Okay folks, well, this is about as bolt-on as any aftermarket thing, I suppose, but here's what the instructions fail to tell you. Is that the drop base air cleaner they give you, which actually for the IAC motor to get filtered air, this guy slides over there, which is, I gotta give him kudos on that. That's pretty brilliant. But little slight issue here. So I've already moved the wire harness on that side, which I showed you. I removed the bracket on this side that holds this wire harness, and I tried to shove it down as much as I could. But the problem is this crossover is on top of the fuel rail, and you just can't smash that down anymore. So what it really needs is a spacer underneath the filter base, probably about a 1-inch riser. And so what they also don't tell you is that the EGR valve's kind of flapping in the breeze. So I need to I'm gonna make a bracket from here to there to support it, because I don't like that. And you have to rework your vacuum hoses also. So the brake booster hose I turned and ran under here because it came pretty much straight up. Also interfered with the air cleaner. What else? The map sensor line that went to the side back of the old snake head is now supposed to go to this port. So I've got it kind of routed down here. I'll get a piece of hose and loop that over there. I haven't figured out that PCV hose in the back yet, how that is supposed to attach to that. So yeah, still got some figuring to do, and it's a good kit overall. I mean, as long as it works like it's supposed to, but the instructions are definitely lacking. They do cover well the modifications to the cables. I'm just letting some RTV dry on the throttle cable because they want you to put some at that joint right there. So the only pieces you actually use from the old throttle cable are this little plastic bushing and this little guy that goes through the firewall. The housing and the cable and this end are all new, which they are nice, but to nitpick, stuff could fit a little better. The EGR hose could be about 5 inches shorter so that you don't have to do that. And there's just a lot of finagling and shoving wires around to make an air cleaner fit on something that was never designed to have an air cleaner on it, obviously. So, but I think some vacuum hoses, a bracket that I have to make, an air filter riser, and some jiggling and moving wires around is gonna do it. Okay, whenever you're ready. Okay, so if you want to keep your wire harness up there, you will need one of these guys, 1-inch air cleaner spacer right there. So there's the hose for the idle air control motor. This is where I ran the map sensor with another piece of hose to the front here. Here's the new breather hose, and then the new PCV hose in the back, which I ended up snipping the plastic tube back there. So everything is in and hooked up. That's so weird, dude. See a carb air cleaner. This is going to be 0 to 60 take 2. So I just kind of rolled out a little bit. We were, so 3, 2, 1, go. That's slower. Okay. So we'll go again. If there's nobody coming. No, there's nobody coming. That's what's good about these Wyoming roads. There's hardly any traffic. Okay. 3, 2, 1. 1377. We'll give it one more time. It's probably about the same temperature today, too, that it was that day. Like 50s, mid 50s, upper 50s.
Yeah.
Okay, third time. Hopefully we get like a, what do we need, like a 7 to average it out to better? Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. This is Wyoming for you. Yesterday, what was it, Bryce? Like 55 or something on the way down? Yeah, this is the way back. It's 34, blowing snow sideways at about 50 miles an hour. All right, America, this is what it is. I'm not going to throw the 460 EFI guys under the bus. If you listen to the video in the before and after runs and the tone of the exhaust, you can hear that it lays over after the 1-2 shift and the 2-3 shift, really, if I stayed in it. But yeah, so it lays over. And, you know, based on my experience with these kind of things and what we've done, it's lean. It's probably lean. So I did talk with Russell at 460 EFI guys before I ever ordered this kit or had my dad order it. And he said that the computer is really pretty good on those and it should compensate with the adaptive fuel trims for the kit, which you're obviously adding airflow. You need more fuel to go along with it. Now I did pull the battery terminal to clear the adaptive memory for the fuel trims. I did get it warmed up and drove it around a little bit around town and on the highway back and forth a little bit, but probably not nearly enough for it to learn. Is it going to learn, and is that going to actually happen? I don't know. I can't say, but what I can say is there's going to be a part 2 to this video because we're going to find out. So I don't think the kit's bad, other than the things I said about the instructions and kind of being slightly little incomplete and some things not fitting super great. But I don't see how it doesn't make more power. It has to. I did have my dad go drive it around some more. He took it on kind of a longer trip, some hills and stuff like that, some kind of varying conditions. So I don't know what it's like now. But what we are going to do is we're going to do a part 2 on this. And I have a wideband air fuel ratio gauge, and I've been doing some research on these EFI 460 pickups, and it turns out that they were pretty dang lean at wide open throttle, even from the factory. So like 460ford.com is a great source. I use that for a lot of the information building the 460 for my 69 F100 that I'm building. Anyway, so yeah, they're saying like 13 or 14 to 1 AFR at wide open throttle on those EFI motors. That's too lean for peak power and for safety, really. Probably for emissions, I imagine, and economy. But, so what we're going to do is slap a wideband on that sucker, and if it's still too lean, I have an adjustable fuel pressure regulator that we're going to put on it and bump the fuel pressure up and see what it do. So stay tuned for that. Next week, we are updating you on all the projects, including the Bronco that we ordered. And then after that, we're either getting back on the 69 F100 or getting on the Mustang. I haven't decided yet. So all kinds of good stuff going on. Stay tuned. If you like Fords, and particularly Ford trucks, this is the place to be. See you next time.